Is your SOP lost amongst the mountain of essays? Each one could be someone's big dream squeezed into 500 to 650 words, perhaps, detailing a groundbreaking science project or passion for cell biology or physics experiment. And here's the twist, guys, AI tools might be scanning your letter for keywords as a first pass before the admission reviewers skim it, probably less than a minute, to figure out whether your story jumps out to them and it's not just another one in the huge stack. So, what if I told you that I have tricks, and yes, I'm using quotes, that can make your essay the one that they can't forget and even impress the AI in the first place? So the last tip here is most important because without that, the first three tricks and tips will just fall flat. So make sure you watch my video till the end and follow every step sequentially. Okay, so let's be real here. The pressure to write the perfect college essay is huge. I totally get it because I myself have written tons of those. And it feels like your whole future is riding on this one thing. I will give you some hacks that make them think that we need the student here and ensure that your essay gets flagged by the AI tool for a next step human review. So maybe grab a notebook or download this video because you're going to want to remember these tricks and tips and hacks and how to make your essay stand out in today's extremely competitive AI influenced world. The first hack is a killer hook. Yes, impression really counts. I have seen so many essays that start kind of slowly, throughout my life. I have always been interested in science, or my journey into the world of biology began when honestly, guys, they are very predictable. And let's face it, they are quite boring. I mean, would you read such an essay? No, right? Think back to that huge pile of essays. Remember that the AI committee, human reviewer have to go through it. So if your opening doesn't signal relevance quickly and hit on the key themes that the AI or the human might be looking for, your essay is going to be buried back into the pile. And no admission officer is going to go through. Do not forget that they are running on coffee fuel and have to go through a stack of essays, maybe thousands of them. So if you do not grab their attention, they might not even skim it. Worse, you will miss the opportunity to tell your lovely story that you were going to share in the next sentence or the next paragraph. So remember, hook is your first shot, sometimes your only shot to grab their attention. Those initial 5 to 10 seconds are most important. It's like this video. If you were not interested in the hook that I said in the start of the video, like the first 5 or 10 seconds, you might not have watched it until now, or you might not even be here and you might not even stay until the end. So it has to be that catchy hook. Now, I remember that when I was a child, my mom used to always tell me that when I'm writing an essay for a comprehensive test or for a language test, I should always start with some kind of anecdote or a poem or some kind of story, even if it's a couple of lines or a couple of sentences. And I didn't know that it was that hook which always landed me full marks in a comprehensive test, when comprehension never gives you full marks, it's very subjective. But I did score those. And today I realize how a hook can actually land you something that you so passionately want. So remember that admission committees love an essay that kicks off with something unexpected, a jolt, a surprise, a really vivid picture that they can't shake or can't forget. So starting with a question that sometimes make them think, or a statement that prompts them to read further, or a tiny super clear snapshot of a moment. For example, if you are in a STEM field, then instead of saying, I have always been passionate about genetics, try something like, the faint sweet smell of agar was my first clue that Drosophila melanogaster cultures behind the door to a limited access lab held a secret about inherited traits I was determined to uncover. You see the difference here, guys? One just tells you, it's a narrative. The other pulls you in. It subtly weaves into a key concept. The first one states a fact. The other one makes you feel something and wonder what's going to happen next. What happens next is the killer hook, and that would make someone reading it know more. It will signal importance right from the get go. Tip 2: don't just tell, show. It's super common for students to write things like, I am very determined person, my research in biology lab was very insightful. Just last week, I read a letter of motivation that started with something like, during my undergraduate studies, I discovered a profound passion for learning and communication and knowledge. Now, these could be deemed as empty claims because they have no life, especially for the AI tools that are looking for substance, for keywords. Now, admission officers read these kind of statements all day long. Determined, passionate, hardworking. These words are just noise. They are just so repetitive and redundant that there is nothing substantial in that. And AI might even flag them as generic. So, starting with essays using these phrases will not make you memorable because they don't create a picture or provide any kind of proof into your experience and ability. The committee needs to see your qualities in action, not just to be told that you have them. So, the hack here is to getting the right kind of attention, showing, not telling. So you should use richer, specific language and highlight relevant keywords, but organically, not forcibly. So instead of saying that you're resilient, tell them about a time your complex algorithm to predict that perfect protein folding failed for the 10th time, and how you spent 3, 4, n number of sleepless nights meticulously reviewing the code, the biochemical principles, rebuilding the whole algorithm, and that quiet sense of pride you felt when it actually happened, when you yielded that structure. Even if it wasn't a Nobel winning discovery, that's fine. Don't just state that you're a good leader. Share the story. For example, about your university, about something like, say, STEM competition, that you were facing a critical design flaw. You should describe the actual steps you took to facilitating that project, integrating the expertise of all your team members, the collaborative design, the iterative problem solving, the tough decisions you championed, and how you engineered a solution or a solution together, even as a team. Another example I had from a student, instead of saying that she was dedicated to her biology research, she wrote about the early morning she spent in a damp marsh collecting water samples, meticulously cataloging microorganism populations. She had described the frustrations of anomalous readings and contradictory data, and then the pure joy of identifying a previously unrecorded species variant. Now, that story would show the dedication and provide the concrete details that is very attractive for the AI and definitely for the human reviewers. The third hack is to always retain and use your authentic voice. It has to be unmistakably you. Now, so many students trying to sound smart or academic end up using a writing voice that does not belong to them. They cram essays with fancy words and overly technical jargon, especially from STEM textbooks, and make super complicated sentences thinking that that's the secret sauce to getting their college applications accepted. But that's not true. You know what the real effect is? The essay will sound very impersonal, very robotic. It will definitely show that you have used an AI to pass AI. That's ironic, right? So even if you somehow manage to circumvent the AI at this stage, there is a high chance that a human reviewer, the next admissions officer, will discard it. Why? Because remember, guys, the admission committee is trying to get to know you, the real person sending in that application. So if your essay sounds like a textbook version, or if you're trying way too hard to be someone else, it just builds a wall. And remember, before the AI tools, all the admission letters and applications were read manually. They were judged manually by the human reviewers. So they have read thousands of essays even before the AI came into play, and they have a keen eye to spot a personal statement written by the person. They want to hear your unique voice, see things in you using your unique perspective. The statement of purpose means exactly that, your purpose. So, the best advice here I can tell you is that write like you talk. Yeah, of course, a little bit polished, but imagine you talking to your former teacher or a mentor, someone that you really respect. Use formal language and you tell them and share your experiences and your life story. So just use that same language, the same structure, the same tone while you're writing. It will still be your voice and it will also sound very professional. For example, if you're naturally funny, add a little bit of appropriate humor that can work wonders. If you're more like a reflective, analytical type of person and passionate about intricacies of any topic, for example, respiration, cellular respiration, then let that analytical precision shape your whole narrative. Here's a tip for you: read the essay out loud. See if it sounds like you. If you're tumbling and fumbling on words and phrases, that's your cue that it is very robotic and it's not your voice. It has to feel natural and not weird. You want to sound like the student who will be walking that campus, who will be the applicant when they actually meet. For example, a mentor for a PhD supervisor, you have to be you and not your AI version or not your avatar or what is it called these days? Ghibli's image, something like that. Yeah, something that is not you, just a caricature or version of you, and that will kill your application. The fourth hack is the most important. It's the gold mine, the deep reflection. So what? Now, students most often share meaningful experiences like, say, a tough coding project, a fascinating biology internship, some kind of personal challenge, but then they stop right after describing the event. They nail the what happened part, but then they miss the most important next step, especially highlighting the key takeaways from that particular experience, and this is what the AI might be looking for. So you need to understand here that an event, no matter how cool it was, it's just that unless you explain why it matters. So you might have the above 3 tricks to the point, and you might have crafted a beautiful letter or an SOP, but your essay is just a nicely told story. The real peek into your growth and insight has not been communicated. And the admission committees are always asking, so what? Why is this story important? What did the student actually learn from it? What did it change in them? How it has changed their perspective of looking at the world? Of course, the keywords have to be naturally embedded, but they also have to reflect your growth, your insight, your future ambitions. And this is exactly where you need to dig in deep. It's not just enough to describe your experience, your summer internship, your university lab project on any fascinating new disease like neurodegenerative disease or something. Your failed experiments, unexpected positive results, how these things actually changed your thought process, how these experiences have solidified your career goals and aspirations, what values you have learned that you can use and apply in the face of complex situations. How did these make you stronger? Don't just tell them about a competition you won, for example, a robotics experiment. Tell them about the application of systemic thinking, critical analysis. How did you use physics principles under pressure? How did you troubleshoot a critical circuit failure, sensor failure? So, guys, the hack here is to connect the dots for them. Don't just tell them about the experiences, tell them how those experiences changed and shaped your career, your thought process, your personality. Use deep analytical, reflective language and articulate your thought process clearly. This will make your good essay great. and it will resonate definitely with the AI tools. Of course, you have to pass that as the first thing, but it will definitely connect with the human reviewer. So guys, I hope now you're feeling some spark of inspiration, or still about how do I begin writing in this AI influenced world. Don't worry, that's normal. The most important thing is to just get started. And if these tricks or navigating the human readers and AI scans has your brain buzzing with ideas, go ahead and hit that like button. It will let me know that I'm on the right path here, trying to help you navigate your academic journey and craft that perfect essay for your future academic journey. I would really love to help you get through your application, get through that roller coaster ride, especially in this new tech savvy world. So definitely subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell icon. And if you have any burning question regarding essay or writing or anything that you're stuck on, even if it's about keywords or about how to pass the AI scans, drop that in the comment box and I will help you, give you tips and tricks. You can also contact me on manuscriptease.com. Just message me. I would love to hear from you and I would love to help you out. And make sure you subscribe to my channel, Rad's Research Room, your safe space to navigate your academic journey. And I'm Dr. Radhika Kamda signing off for today.